thumb up, the more personalized it becomes. So keep thumbing away, and when you're ready, search My Favorites and hit play. Free radio and unlimited music, all in one app. iHeart Radio.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. So, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Where to be found? Batteries?
Dead.
Great. Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
No. What about blankets?
We have an old towel.
Good enough. Cell phones?
May not work.
Emergency water?
Not a drop.
And what about...
Fox Sports Trending now.
4 more NCAA tournament first-rounders starting up in roughly an hour, including Maryland versus Xavier. There are 2 games still in progress, under 7 minutes to go. Middle Tennessee with a record of 30-4, holding on over Minnesota 62-55. Middle Tennessee's Blue Raiders with poor shooting early but great since. And currently, Northwestern in its first ever NCAA tournament is shooting 56% from the floor and leading Vanderbilt 47-34, under 14 minutes left in that game. Top seed in the West, Gonzaga advanced, trailed late in the first half, but beat up South Dakota State after that. 66-46 the final. West Virginia survived Bucknell 86-80. Notre Dame edged Princeton 60-58. Virginia and Florida each won. Butler eliminated Winthrop. Indiana fired Coach Tom Crean. The Bulls' Dwayne Wade out for the regular season with a broken elbow.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Finally, Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swan back at it once again here, 316 Greystone Boulevard. Fast-paced, action-packed, hurry-up-and-no-huddle sports talk programming for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands, heard around the world on the iHeart radio application. Download it today. It's free. The Clemson Sports Talk app also free. And, of course, if you're watching the program right now over on our website, ClemsonSportsTalk.com, you can tell by the backdrop that Lowell the intern is not in the building with us here this evening. But nonetheless, the show continues on. 803-978-1832. Oh, happy college basketball day to you. What a beautiful day March Madness is when it kicks off again. Half of the teams will play today. Half of the teams will play tomorrow. And by the end of the weekend, we will have this thing whittled down to 16 teams. The beauty of that. March Madness, the best time of the year for college sports, in my opinion. I know football season from top to bottom is probably better for most of you. But I think this opening weekend of the NCAA tournament and the upsets and the little things that go on in these games, and there haven't been many, by the way, yet. There haven't been many at all right now, though. Middle Tennessee, a 12 seed. We've seen these 12 seeds knock off 5 seeds in the past. Middle Tennessee, this would be my first loss of the day. Middle Tennessee up 69-61. If you want to talk about your bracket or if it's been busted, feel free to be a part of the program. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832 is the number. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show. You can tweet at us at Clemson Sports. And don't forget, you can text us thanks to our good friends at the Ocean Reef Resort text line. 803-450-0086. 803-450-0086. About 12 and a half minutes remaining in the matchup between Northwestern and Vanderbilt. Northwestern up 49-40. They are in their first trip to the NCAA tournament ever, as in ever. And so they got a chance to get their first win in the NCAA tournament. Chris Collins the son of Doug Collins, is their head coach. Chris, of course, an assistant at Duke for many years. Speaking of assistants at Duke, of course, tomorrow night, the Gamecocks will be playing right here in the state of South Carolina up at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, taking on Steve Wojciechowski, another former Duke assistant and former Duke basketball player. So today's show will be jam-packed with NCAA tournament talk and coverage. We'll talk a little Clemson football, a little Clemson baseball. We will also get into it with Clemson Tom in about 15 minutes. And then in hour number 2, Avery Holmes set to join us. So a couple of days here on the program and a couple of former Clemson Tiger basketball players and literally, a day or two removed from that. I always feel a little bit guilty calling these guys former players. I really do, because I feel like what I'm saying to them is, or former Tigers. Sometimes I'll say, I feel like I'm saying you're not a Tiger anymore. And as a graduate of Clemson University, I can tell you I feel like I'm very much still a Tiger, but I don't really know another way to do it. 803-978-1832. Clemson Tom just chiming in, says he can't come on today anyway, so no worries. We will roll along here on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app, and you can chat with us over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. You can also watch the show over there as well. But we begin tonight's program just taking a look at what's happened so far in the NCAA tournament, and it all got started around noon today. And if you haven't been around a television and you DVR'd some things at home, you can turn away now for a few seconds. We'll probably give you about, it's 6:06. I want you to come back at 6:10 to be safe, unless you want to know what all went down. We're going to dive right in. The 5 seed Notre Dame took on the 12 seed Princeton earlier today. Bit of a back-and-forth affair. Much tougher game for Notre Dame than maybe people would anticipate. But the Fighting Irish did come away with a 60-58 victory in their opening round matchup. Also from the ACC, another 5-12 game. It was UVA, Virginia, taking on UNC Wilmington. UNC Wilmington had a big lead early in that game, but Virginia just kept coming, and finally the Cavaliers escaped with a 76-71 victory in their opening round matchup. Butler taking on Winthrop. Butler, the 4 seed, Winthrop, the 13 seed. I know Lowell, the intern, was all fired up and ready to go with his Winthrop Eagles in that matchup, but it did not work out that way for them. Butler takes down Winthrop 76-64. You also had Gonzaga, the number 1 seed, taking on San Diego State. And that game early, San Diego State actually had the lead. And I got to tell you, I thought for a moment, I said, maybe, just maybe, this is the year that we finally see the 16 seed upset the 1 seed. Gonzaga gets hot in the second half. They shut the door 66-46. They win that one going away. Then it was Bucknell and West Virginia, a 4-13 matchup. Bucknell, the 13 seed, they fought. They were scrappy. West Virginia was a little bit too athletic for them. Got them down in the open floor several times and took advantage of that on the break, and West Virginia wins it 86-80. Then you had Florida taking on East Tennessee State. The Gators out of the SEC, 4 seed, beat a 13 seed 80-65. And then the matchups that are going on right now, you've got Middle Tennessee State currently leading Minnesota by 10. Middle Tennessee State is a 12 seed, and we have seen that 12 seed be such a thorn in the side of the 5 in recent years. Well, if you pick one of those and you pick this one, you may have the right one. About 3.5 minutes remaining. Middle Tennessee State up 71-61 right now over Minnesota. And then out of the SEC, Vanderbilt narrowing the gap between themselves and Northwestern. It is 49-46 Northwestern with about 10 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in that game. So that's just a quick look at the NCAA tournament. I don't know how your bracket's looking right now. Mine is looking really, really good. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Villanova also earlier today. No, not yet. Woo. I thought I'd skip one, but I hadn't. There we go. So, Virginia over UNC Wilmington. They will take on Florida, who beat East Tennessee State. So, a 4-5 matchup over there in the eastern region between the ACC's Virginia Cavaliers and the SEC's Florida Gators. The other matchup that is set is Notre Dame, a 5 seed out of the ACC, versus West Virginia out of the Big 12. That matchup, again, a 5 seed versus a 4 seed. Gonzaga awaits the winner of this Northwestern and Vanderbilt game. Northwestern extends their lead to 5. Butler awaits the winner of this Minnesota-Middle Tennessee game. So if you took Butler into the Sweet 16, an upset here by Middle Tennessee would perhaps perpetuate that for you moving forward like I did. So not a terrible loss for me, because there would be some people who would have gone with Minnesota twice and maybe would have put the Golden Gophers into the Sweet 16. Not a win for me the way this game is playing out, but not a tremendous loss for me, as it's more valuable for me to have Butler move on if Butler could somehow knock off Middle Tennessee, assuming things hold there as that game winds down under 2.5 minutes to play. 803-978-1832. We're going to try to keep you updated, try to keep everything covered here in terms of the NCAA basketball tournament. There is a lot going on for sure. It's a fun day for me in radio. It is a bit of a hectic day, though, because I've got multiple televisions going, and I'm trying to keep my eyes and ears everywhere, yet still be a part of the program with you also and engage with you on the Hurry Up, No Huddle Sports Talk Express. Upcoming games tonight, the matchups that you want to get your hands on. 7:10, you got Villanova taking on Mount St. Mary's. 9:40 tonight, a little late game. You've got Wisconsin and Virginia Tech, and the two winners of those games will square off in 2 days. You've also got at 7:27, Purdue taking on Vermont, and Iowa State and Nevada at 9:57. Those four teams squaring off for the right to play one another in the upcoming rounds of the NCAA tournament. Then there's also at 6:50 tonight, Maryland and Xavier, 6 seed versus an 11 seed. At 7:20, it'll be St. Mary's taking on VCU. Then at 9:20, you've got Florida State taking on Florida Gulf Coast, Dunk City, baby. And then you've got Arizona, the 2 seed, taking on North Dakota at 9:50. And I think that is all of the games. So much, man. This is it can almost become a little bit overwhelming, as you might can imagine here, as you've got 32 games to open up the NCAA tournament in the first 2 rounds, 16 of which are going down today. And let's see here, about 1:47 left. Middle Tennessee leading by 9. It looks like they're going to hold on against Minnesota, and that may have put it away there. A break to the basket and a layup, 74-73. So, all right, I may have gone over a little bit. So if you came back a little early, I may have given you some information. I tried to squeeze it in 4 minutes. I did not want to put you in a bad spot when you get home to be able to check those brackets. But I am feeling pretty good about where I sit right now in the official Fox Sports Radio 1400 bracket challenge. Again, our chat room's open, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Of course, there are some potential interesting matchups that could shake out over the next couple of days. If South Carolina were to lose to Marquette, we mentioned this yesterday, you'd get a matchup between Steve Wojciechowski and assuming that Duke wins their opening matchup, Coach K, which is unique because, of course, Wojo for many years for the Duke Blue Devils was sort of the enforcer of the defensive energy. You can picture him slapping the floor, and to think about their relationship, those guys squaring off against one another would certainly be a very, very unique situation. You've also got the situation at hand with the NCAA tournament. If you look a little further down the line, and that is when you take a look at where Virginia and Virginia Tech are right now. If Virginia Tech were to somehow beat Wisconsin and then get lucky and trip up Villanova. If UVA beats Florida, you could have a Sweet 16 matchup featuring Virginia and Virginia Tech going head-to-head from the ACC. Now, it's a long way to get there because Villanova is most likely, I think most would agree, the best team in the tournament whose name starts with V. Could Virginia Tech or Virginia beat them? I don't think so. But there is a chance that that matchup could take place in the Sweet 16. So Virginia and Virginia Tech lining up there in the Eastern bracket, that would make for a pretty well talked about or a pretty heavily talked about matchup in the NCAA tournament featuring two conference foes, and two in-state rivals as well. 803-978-1832 is your bracket. Busted already? Are you a risk taker or a money maker? I know a lot of you get in these pools, and let's face it, some of you do it for fun. Some of you do it because you know you can make a little coin off of the deal. I understand that. I live in America. I get it. It happens everywhere you go. People are marking through their brackets today. Some of you sitting there feeling good about where you are. Others of you perhaps concerned about how things shake out. And the beauty of this is, as great as you may be today, tomorrow may be equally sour. You could come in to this thing like Lowell the intern did last year, popping his collar, showing his Superman underneath his jacket, saying, Swanee, I got this. I'm out in front. I'm the big dog. And then all you do is scrape your nose for the rest of the tournament. Or maybe you come out of the gates a little sluggish, but tomorrow's your pick-me-up day, and the next thing you know, by the time we whittle this thing down to the Final Four, you've got all four teams still dancing, and you've got a chance to rack up points on top of points. Because let's face it, that's what this NCAA tournament is about. It is about getting the most teams to the Sweet 16, the most teams that you can to the Final Four, and barring a major, and I'm talking major upset, 4 seeds, 3 seeds, 2 seeds, and 1 seeds losing, most of you are going to be okay. Most of you probably did not deliver a 5 seed or lower into the Sweet 16. So, as long as you stay fairly healthy in terms of the higher seeds, you should be good to go. Now, we've got 76-65, 1:26 left in this Minnesota-Middle Tennessee game. 77-65 now, and a 5-point lead for Northwestern with 6:40 remaining as they take on Vanderbilt out of the SEC. And I'm going to go ahead and admit this. I was weak on the SEC in the NCAA tournament. Did not believe at all. I did take Florida, but I have Florida being beaten by Virginia. Other SEC teams in the NCAA tournament, South Carolina, I hate to disappoint you. I took the 10-seed Marquette to knock off the Gamecocks as well. So that's another matchup from the SEC in the NCAA tournament where I had the SEC team losing. I had Vanderbilt being beaten by Northwestern. Right now, again, a 5-point lead with 6 minutes to go for Northwestern. So I feel pretty good about that. I have Seton Hall knocking off Arkansas. I was not impressed with the SEC. And Clemson, oddly enough, went 3-0 against that conference. And I thought Clemson had a very disappointing season. And the Tigers beat Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina. I just said, you know what? When it comes tournament time, I'm not trusting that the SEC is going to do a whole lot. The only team in that league that I believed in at all were the Kentucky Wildcats, the 2 seed. They take on North Kentucky in the South region tomorrow. Then I have Kentucky beating Dayton. Then I have Kentucky beating UCLA, which will be a tough task. And I've got Kentucky falling to North Carolina in the NCAA tournament. If you want to know how my bracket shakes out, I've got it Duke, Gonzaga, Kansas, and North Carolina in the Final Four. I've actually got the 4 match between Duke and North Carolina for the national title. And I went back and forth on this one because I have to admit to you, I believe Duke should win that game. But I also believe that North Carolina in the fourth matchup between these two teams this year is going to get the better of them. 78-72, the final score. I think the boys in Chapel Hill are going to be putting up a new banner in the Dean Dome as your national champions this season. 803-978-1832. We can continue to talk brackets wherever you want to go. Clemson Tom's not going to be here, so we'll give you guys the choice and the direction, even on social media as well. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio.
Does your water have a bad taste and odor, high content of chlorine and chemicals, and hardness? Then call the plumbing pros at Metz Plumbing for a free water analysis. Metz Plumbing is the exclusive dealer for Connecticut Water Systems, the best drinking water system in the world.
732. My name's Kenneth Berger, and I represent people with life-changing injuries throughout South Carolina. My firm knows that after an accident, you'll want to know how your medical bills are going to get paid, whether you should sign the forms the insurance company has been sending you, when you'll recover lost wages, and how your future medical expenses are calculated. Luckily, there are answers to those questions. And for those answers and many more, you can request a free copy of my book at scinjurybook.com. That's scinjurybook.com.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care. Are you a business owner looking to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why ProRecruits.net is better than their competition. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net is also locally owned and has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call Chris today at 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 college football national champion, Clemson Tigers.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, one of the most beautiful days to be on the radio each and every year. Opening day of the NCAA tournament, 803-978-1832. We'd love to have you hang out over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. And if you listen to the podcast, if you appreciate this program, become a nickelbacker. Stand behind us $1 a month. That's about 5 cents a show. Learn more how you can do that over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. We've got people who give $5, $10, $20, even $50 a month to support our program. That's in addition to all our many wonderful advertisers. You can learn more about them on the live broadcast on YouTube, which you can watch on ClemsonSportsTalk.com, or you can learn about them right here on Fox Sports Radio with the ads during the break. And we are so thankful for each and every one of those businesses that stand behind us, and we appreciate each and every one of you who also have made the effort to get behind Clemson Sports Talk here on Fox Sports Radio 1400, not only with your support, but also with your listenership. All right, your bracket may have taken its first hit. If you were feeling good, if you were feeling undefeated, you might feel undefeated no longer. Middle Tennessee State with the upset of Minnesota. Reggie Upshaw, 19 points for Middle Tennessee State. They advance. Northwestern currently leads Vanderbilt by 5, and we've got more games getting set to tip off here in just a little bit. So that's where we are. The games will go late into the evening. I think everybody will probably be invested quite a bit in it, and I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you at all. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just wish that the Clemson Tigers were in it. I mean, that would have That would have made it feel a little bit better, huh? That would have made you feel pretty excited about it. We have always been excited to have the college football playoff move to 4. I mean, I thought that was healthy. But if you went back and looked at the rankings of the college football playoff committee and decided you were going to have a 16-team playoff. Yeah, here's what it would have looked like if you would have had that all set up. The number 1 seed Alabama Crimson Tide would have been taking on the 16 seed West Virginia in the opening round. Number 8 Wisconsin would have taken on number 9 Southern Cal. The 4 seed Washington would have taken on the 13 seed Louisville Cardinals. The 5 seed would have been Penn State. They would have taken on Oklahoma State. Michigan, the 6 seed, would have taken on Florida State. The 3 seed Ohio State would have faced off against Auburn. The 7 seed Oklahoma would have taken on Colorado, the 10 seed, and Clemson would have faced off against Western Michigan. So that's what a tournament bracket 16-team playoff would have looked like in the NCAA for the NCAA college football season. Had that worked out, those would have been the matchups. I would say Clemson with the ugliest draw of all taking on Western Michigan. Perhaps the best game listed there was one we actually saw, Florida State versus Michigan, in a 6-11 matchup. And then I think another one that would have been sneakily interesting for people to tune in and catch may have been Wisconsin versus Southern California. Now, remember, in the bowl game, you got Penn State by virtue of winning the Big Ten versus Southern Cal. Instead, in this scenario, Penn State would have been the 5 seed, and they would have taken on Oklahoma State. So just a quick what if there were a 16-team college football playoff, how would it have shaken out? That's what the opening round matchups would have looked like. And again, Alabama would have taken on the winner of, assuming they won, would have taken on the winner of Wisconsin and Southern California. Clemson would have taken on the winner of Oklahoma and Colorado. So that's just a little brief look at what a 16-team college football playoff would have looked like this year in honor of it being one of the best days in college sports with the NCAA tournament going on. Out to the text line, brought to you by the Ocean Reef Resort. G Tiger says, Swanee, I'm just saying Luke Kennard looks like the next Larry Bird. He wants my opinion on it. I don't know if anybody will be the next Larry Bird. Larry Bird was something else at his size. I mean, that's the thing that's different about he and Luke Kennard. Larry Bird was 6'9", shot the ball as good as anybody. I mean, heck, he won the three-point contest wearing his warm-up jacket one year. And I think the old saying, pretty fly for a white guy, probably plays pretty well in terms of Larry Bird. The thing I will say about Luke Kennard, no fear. And you have to be fearless to play at the NCAA level, and you have to be fearless to play at an elite level in the NCAAs. And that's what Luke Kennard has done for the Duke Blue Devils, and he's part of the reason that I have Duke getting to the finals, and he would be a tremendous part of the reason that I would want to pick Duke to win the championship this year, because Kennard is a stone-cold assassin. He is fearless with the ball in his hand, and he's a right-handed kid who shoots left-handed, but he dribbles and controls the ball with both hands nearly equally as well. I'll agree with you on this, G Tiger. He looks like he's going to be a heck of a basketball player. The problem is I've seen guys, and hey, look, let's face it. Let's frame these guys as what they are. They're white guys. I've seen Jimmer Fredette put up big numbers collegiately. How'd that work out in the NBA? How about Adam Morrison? Remember him at Gonzaga? How'd that work out in the NBA? I'm not saying that a white guy can't be successful in the NBA, but Luke Kennard would have to go there and prove it to me. He would have to prove it to me that he could be an elite level Caucasian athlete in the NBA. Most of the guys that you see in the NBA right now that are white are not American. They are Europeans. They are Euros that have made their way over to play the sport. Or they are guys from Argentina, guys from countries in South America. There are not a lot of individuals in the NBA, a la Kevin Love, who are white guys who are just ballers. And I don't think it's impossible or improbable that you're going to see that again, a white guy who can really take over the league, but you haven't had it, and I don't think I'd frame Luke Kennard as one that could do it. Larry Bird was one. Larry Bird was a guy that could take over games. Larry Bird was a guy that commanded the best out of his opponents because Larry Bird shot the ball, and it's funny to say because now with the way the three-point game has changed so much and the frequency of the three-point shot is made so much more often or even taken so much more often, but Larry Bird was a guy that could just rip your heart out from the three-point line, and it wasn't even a significant emphasis on the game back then the way it is today. So you got to keep that in mind as well. 803-978-1832, though. Appreciate you being a part of the show, G Tiger. And we have another message coming in via the Ocean Reef Resort text line from Travis. We'll roll that one over, Travis, to the next break. Travis wants to talk a little bit about the Clemson Tiger basketball team. Speaking of which, Avery Holmes is going to be joining us coming up in hour number 2 of the program tonight. That's right. The former Clemson Tiger basketball star will join us. Last night we had Jerron Blossom game on. If you missed that interview, don't worry about it. Why? We podcast every single edition of this show. That means you listen to it when you want to listen to it. Make the Hurry Up No Huddle Sports Talk Express a part of your day each and every day on an iPhone via the Overcast app. That's the easiest way. On an Android device, get Podcast Addict. Simply search for Clemson Sports Talk. You'll find it right there, and you can listen to us anytime, anyplace, anywhere. 803-978-1832. If you like it fast-paced and action-packed, if you like it hurry up and no huddle, you're at the best sports talk home for you. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio.
This is Dave, and we're back on Pit Stop Radio. Listen to what our customers say about their pit stop.
Yes, I'm a nurse here in Columbia, South Carolina, and I love helping people, and I think that's one of the great things about Pit Stop because they're here to give you great service and a great atmosphere for being able to talk to their customers and making them feel welcome. No, I did not know Pit Stop was locally owned, so that makes it even better. I'm glad Pit Stop is one of our very own.
Want convenience without compromise?
Don't stop till you're at Pit Stop.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Oh, absolutely. But you don't have to have any of my cornbread, but you can get all the cornbread you can eat at this year's South Carolina's famous Cornbread Fest with events like the Cornhole Tournament, the Petting Zoo, the Car and Bike Show with more to come. And it's all hosted by me, your man, comedian Timmy Tim. It's happening April 22nd at Earlwood Park.
Call 1-800-PLUMBING and help will be coming.
Call Plumbing Solutions LLC at 1-800-PLUMBING 24/7. Plumbing is what they do and all they do at 20 to 30% less than competitors.
Call 1-800-PLUMBING and let the experts do the rest.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
From Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, tonight the skies stay clear and the temperatures once again fall below freezing, upper 20s for most of us. Now tomorrow, sunny skies and warmer. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by your local Food Lion.
Prices are a slam dunk this week during Food Lion's 4-day sale. Get St. Louis-style pork ribs $1.79 a pound, and select varieties of Cheetos or Fritos are buy one, get one free. Sale starts Thursday, 8 a.m. Food Lion. How refreshing.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan. Vanderbilt has come back on Northwestern. About 14.6 seconds remaining in the game. Vandy took the lead, 66-65, and then immediately they just had a player foul for no apparent reason that will give Northwestern a chance to take the lead.
Well, that's the dumbest thing I've heard of.
Yeah, that's Vanderbilt takes the lead and then immediately fouls with 14.6 seconds left in the game, which Northwestern just hit 2 free throws to take the lead back. We've got 10 seconds to play here. I can't give you the play-by-play, but I will let you know the outcome. Northwestern 67-66. Vanderbilt with a heave. The ball goes out of bounds to Northwestern, and they will lose. Northwestern will win. Vanderbilt will lose after a Vanderbilt player, when the Commodores took the lead, fouled with no time, with like 14 seconds remaining.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
So that's how it'll break out here, it looks like, in this Northwestern Vanderbilt game. And I have to admit to you, for a split second after I told you my thoughts on the SEC and how I didn't trust the SEC in the NCAA tournament, I really, really thought that I was going to take an L here as Vandy took a 66-65 lead, but inexplicably they foul, and all of a sudden, if you're like me and you had Northwestern winning, you're feeling good about things.
I am smart. S-M-R-T. S-M-A-R-T.
Yeah, you haven't seen anything like that in a while. 803-978-1832. I heard people here at iHeart Media screaming when the foul occurred. Screaming. Because what are you doing? You're up 1. This is one that is going to be tough to explain and a bitter pill to swallow. I, unfortunately, do not know who the individual was, simply because I have the television turned down. Maybe it was Matthew Fisher Davis may have been the individual. That's something that you don't see every day. You don't see that one every day. He must have thought they were down 1. You have to know where you are in the game. You must know at all times what the score is. And clearly, that was not the case. He fouled, and then he was like, let's see what he said here. Trying to read what Fisher Davis, he didn't have the right score. He didn't know the score of the game. I mean, that's just, good gracious. And you probably, unless you ring up a three-pointer here to tie the game, if Northwestern hits both of their free throws, I mean, you basically handed them the victory in the NCAA tournament. Wow. I mean, I'm nearly speechless because I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Again, Vanderbilt hits a shot, takes a 1-point lead. Northwestern, 14.6 seconds left. They're trying to bring the ball down the court. And Vanderbilt fouls purposefully, reaches, grabs him. There will be a shot at the buzzer for Vandy. No good, 68-66. Northwestern, Chris Collins, they survive and win their first NCAA tournament game ever. And simply because of a foul late in the game by Fisher Davis, last name Fisher Davis, for Vanderbilt, who did not realize that they were actually up one at the time. That's a painful way to go out. 803-978-1832. I got to tell you, I don't know where that ranks amongst the bad losses in the history of the NCAA tournament. Chris Webber, you might recall, called a timeout that led to a technical foul for Michigan that gave North Carolina free throws late in their championship game. That was a big, big moment, a bungled moment that maybe cost a team a game. You feel like this one absolutely cost Vanderbilt this game. Now, very easily, Northwestern could have come down the court. They could have scored. They could have got fouled, run a set play, and still won the game by one. This is March. That happens. But I don't think I've ever seen a situation where a player in the NCAA tournament, and it's bound to have happened at some point, that a player just purposefully fouls when they were up. That's absolutely incredible. Matthew Fisher Davis, by the way, I believe led Vanderbilt in scoring tonight with 22 points. But it'll be that one moment that continues to haunt him for a long, long time. Guarantee you that. I don't know. I don't know how you handle that. You feel sorry for the kid. You feel sorry for the other players on the team. But again, you got to know the score, the time. You got to know that. And if you're a star player, you got to know that. I would also like to point out that Northwestern went from being a team that has never played in the NCAA tournament to all of a sudden, I'm assuming, the only undefeated team in the history of the NCAA tournament right now, at this moment. I don't know that anybody else is undefeated in the history of the NCAA tournament. I'm pretty sure most teams have gotten an L at some point along the way. There may be some that have still yet to play in the NCAA tournament. But Northwestern is undefeated at 1-0 all time. So, as far as I know, they may have the best record in the history of the NCAA tournament at 1-0. They'll take on Gonzaga on Saturday. They'll put their undefeated NCAA tournament history on the line Saturday against the Zags. 803-978-1832, about 17 minutes out from being joined by Avery Holmes. Stay with us.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill. Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Every day, Fast Signs helps businesses with their visual communications needs. Fast Signs is committed to raising your visibility and building your trust. They bring new ideas and help you develop your business. They ask the right questions in order to make your facility safe and more efficient. Fast Signs offers more than signs and graphics. They're innovators, planners, and designers, and they're more than ready to help. For more information, visit their Harbison location or call 803-781-2229 or online at fastsigns.com/192.
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the Clemson Tigers, winners of the 2017 National Championship game.
Nothing wrong with a little positive K here on the Thursday edition of the Hurry Up No Huddle Sports Talk Express. Bruce Feldman out on social media tweeted out that defensive lineman Rashawn Gary, you might remember him. He picked Michigan over Clemson. He was the number 1 rated player just a couple of recruiting cycles ago. Behind him, number 2, just happened to be a little fella you may have heard of, Dexter Lawrence. Worked out pretty well for him coming to Clemson. He's got him a national title. But I do have a question for Bruce Feldman, and I tweeted at him. He says that defensive lineman Rashawn Gary, who's listed at 6'5", 287 pounds, was timed at a 4.57 40, which is faster than all of Michigan's linebackers, and broad jumped 9'6" in off-season testing, that's good. I mean, I got no problem with that. But does a 4.57 40 for Rashawn Gary at defensive line say more about his speed or the linebacker speed not being maybe as good as it could be? 803-978-1832. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show. Follow the program at Clemson Sports. And again, Avery Holmes coming up here on the program in just a little bit. I do want to stay with the theme, though, of the NCAA tournament. Of course, maybe the most interesting storyline off of the court might be LeVar Ball, father of Lonzo Ball, star guard at UCLA. Mr. Ball, Big Baller Brand, has something not quite right. Screw loose, whatever you want to call it. Maybe the investment in his sons is a little bit over the top. But LeVar Ball came out a couple of days ago and actually claimed that he would kill Michael Jordan in one-on-one back in his heyday. Kill him if they were playing back in the day. Now, you guys all know who Michael Jordan is, and many of you may be wearing some Jordan brand clothing right now. Shoes, shirts, who knows? I don't know that many of you are wearing the big baller brand just yet. And LeVar Ball, by the way, did play college basketball at Washington State for, I think, a year. And, he put up 22 points and 23 rebounds a game. No, wait. I read that wrong. 2.2 points and 2.3 rebounds, Mr. Ball. Maybe Mr. Ball read those wrong. Maybe Mr. Ball actually thought it was 22. 2.2, Mr. Ball, 2.3 rebounds. And you would kill Michael Jordan in one-on-one back in your heyday. Charles Barkley even went as far as to say he'd play him right now. Barkley said, ain't no guy that scored 2.2 points per game going to beat me in a game of one-on-one. So, LeVar, Mr. Ball, sir, if I may, instead of putting your foot in your mouth, how about just spend some time enjoying the fact that you've got a son that's a pretty good basketball player in the NCAA tournament? Let this be his time to shine, not yours. You had your chance in college. You gave us 2.2 points per game and 2.3 rebounds per game. And Michael Jordan and a host of other players across the country would have dragged you up and down the court. That's just an old tidbit from your friend Swanee here at Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Caller, welcome in.
Thanks, Swanee.
Yeah, man.
LeVar, stay off the drugs, son.
Yeah.
Stay off the drugs. Drugs are a powerful thing. And now on this, Rashawn Gary running a 4.57.
Yeah.
At over 280 pounds. I don't have it in front of me, but I'll bet that he might be the fastest person to ever run at the combine over 280 pounds at that speed. And if he's not the fastest, he's in the top 5. So I call BS on that. That's one of those quote-unquote hand times by your position coach.
I got you.
There's just no way. No way that guy runs a 4.57. And it'd be good. I mean, that'd be good for running linebacker. I mean, linebacker, you could run a 4.6, 4.7, and you'd still be you can be a productive linebacker, a super productive linebacker. So I don't buy that at all.
I'm trying to look to see. Okay, Dexter Lawrence, I can tell you at 6'5", 340, ran a 4.9 last summer. That's getting it.
Yeah.
That's getting it because he's got, about 60 more pounds. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe that one either.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Ain't doing that.
Hey, listen.
Look up. See if you can get your staff in there.
Yeah.
Your staff to look up fastest D-line times at the combine ever.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to get that
and
for
then let's look. And then if they're over 280 pounds, what does it shake out?
Okay, I'll see if I can't find something on that. I will say this: if Dexter Lawrence can run 4.9, you better hope you can run 4.8 if he's chasing you. That's all I'm telling you. That's a big old boy coming after you. Appreciate the phone call. Yeah, I'll try to pull that during the break. I know we've got Avery Holmes coming up here in hour number 2. Let's see if I can find the best defensive line times. 40 times at the combine. Let's see what these guys were putting up this year. All right, defensive line and linebackers. I am interested to know as well. Because, again, trying to find the size and everything, that's the other side of the coin. Let's see. TJ Watt. Here we go. Let's see. Where? All right, what was that number? 4.57. 4.57 for Rashawn Gary. Yeah, it looks to me like most of these guys were 4.6, 4.7 guys. It looks like that 4.5 would have been a pretty good time. Julius Peppers. Is that Julius? No, that's not Julius Peppers. That would be. Is this all time? I don't know what this is. No, that's Jabril. Jabril Peppers ran a 4.47, but I don't really count. I mean, he's a linebacker. So Yeah, it would be. I mean, that's strolling for a big boy. That's strolling. Trying to see if I see some other numbers. This is kind of hard to look at right now, though. So I'll let that ride for now. But, I mean, if the time's legit, it's an incredible time. I'm kind of with you. I doubt it is. But maybe even more so, what does it say if your defensive lineman is faster than your linebackers? Hope you got plenty of speed in the secondary, because people are probably going to be walking away from your linebackers in a mighty big hurry. That's what it says to me. Now, can they get away from Rashawn Gary up front? That may yet to be, that may be something that's yet to be determined. But if those numbers are legit, again, that's fast. But what does it say about their linebackers? 803-978-1832, the number. 803-978-1832. Again, the NCAA tournament getting set to get started back up here in about, right now. As I look to my right and I see Xavier in Maryland just opening things up. The 11 seed Xavier up 2-0 over the 6 seed Maryland early on in that matchup. And again, most of you, I would assume, brackets are looking pretty good right now. I don't think too many people are disappointed. Brother JR says Swanee 457 at 287. Says a lot about him. Haven't heard too many cases of guys his size running that fast. Good point. That is a good point. That is moving. No doubt about it. But I think maybe our previous caller may have been correct as well in that, you know what, maybe that wasn't a laser timed. That may have been a hand time. A little quick on the trigger. Hour number 2, Avery Holmes joins us. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. And thanks to everybody for being a part of the show this evening as the NCAA tournament round 1 rolls on.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
The neighbors are talking.
About what?
My amazing new Built Right garage door.
A new Built Right garage door from CHI with today's custom colors from your color chip, glass window options, and decorative hardware. Makes yours a custom CHI garage door.
These garage doors sync with your cell phone.
And you get notified when someone opens your garage door?
Yes, and there's so many window options.
Today's Built Right garage doors open everyone's eyes to style, technology, and safety. Built Right garage doors. Call 744-DOOR.
This is you creating your perfect wedding at the Lexington Bridal Expo. Discover amazing new ideas, delicious cakes, see beautiful flowers, and find your dream dress. Experience it all Sunday, March 19th at the DoubleTree by Hilton. Brought to you by American Floral, Carolina Bride Magazine, Columbia Bridal Associates, Michael Koska Photography, and 97.5 WCOS. Do not miss it. March 19th at the DoubleTree by Hilton. I-20 at Bush River Road in Lexington. Grab those tickets right now at bridecityshows.com. That's bridecityshows.com.
Attention Tiger Nation, listen up for a new way to show your support for the Clemson Tigers and support a great charity. SOS is once again sponsoring Print Bowl 2016. This campaign pits the Tigers against the Gamecocks to raise money for a great charity. This year, the Clemson Tiger fans will support the Live Big Foundation, and they are counting on Tiger Nation to show their support by visiting printbowl.com. While there, make sure to enter their monthly drawing for a free printer emblazoned with the Clemson Tiger logo. Learn more at printbowl.com.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
From the TrueCar.com studios, the new way to buy a car. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Download it now.
Fox Sports Trending now.
NCAA tournament victories for Northwestern and Middle Tennessee in the first round were brought to you by TrueCar. With TrueCar, you can find out what other people in your area paid for the same car you're looking for, new or used. Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. 3 quick NBA notes. Isaiah Thomas of the Celtics will miss their next 2 games with a bruised knee. Kevin Love back from a knee injury starting in Cleveland tonight. Dwayne Wade of the Bulls out for the regular season with a broken elbow. To college hoops. First rounders today. Northwestern won its first ever NCAA tournament game, edging Vanderbilt 68-66 as a Vandy player fouled on purpose when leading with about 15 seconds left. Northwestern made both free throws, won by 2. Middle Tennessee upsets a 5-seed Minnesota 81-72. Notre Dame edged Princeton 60-58. Wins for West Virginia and Gonzaga. Wins for Virginia and Florida.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set. Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, your Hurry Up No Huddle Sports Talk Express each and every evening, and so thankful to be joined tonight by Clemson Tiger basketball player Avery Holmes, former Clemson Tiger basketball player now. Incredibly, Avery, man, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being a part of the program tonight.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Man, I tell you what, it's amazing to me. I was a guy who graduated from Clemson and spent a lot of time in Little John Coliseum, not only rooting on the Clemson Tiger basketball team, but making a lot of great relationships with a lot of those players. And so many of the former guys have come on this program and been a part of this. So it means a lot to me when the new guys who don't know me and didn't get to spend time with me venture out and are a part of this program. But I wanted to ask you about the player-fan relationship at Clemson, because it's interesting. Last year, you guys had to play off campus. This year, you come back to a newly renovated Little John Coliseum. Did you feel like that the student body embraced Clemson Tiger basketball coming back on campus after a year off campus?
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely think that. It was a big difference. Greenville was really good. Obviously, whoever came out there and supported us was really good. But the fans this year, they were going crazy. It was good. You could tell they could take the momentum of the game. It was incredible. I do think it's a big difference between the Greenville and Clemson, being in Clemson now.
Avery Holmes joins us here on Clemson Sports Talk. And Avery, I know this year didn't go the way you guys thought it would, but after you've had a day or so to kind of decompress from the loss, what happened there in that Oakland game? I mean, we've all seen games that go that way. Have you had a chance to sit down? Do you even feel like watching the tape to get an idea of what happened in the second half, or could you feel that game slipping away while you were out there on the court?
I could definitely feel the game slipping away But I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, it was just probably the energy just kind of went away the second half. I don't know what happened, but I just felt like the energy went away the second half. Maybe we just knew we were going to win because we were up 19 and we felt that was going to happen. But I couldn't tell you. It just slipped away from us. So I honestly couldn't tell you.
When you're in there at halftime and Gabe hits the big three and there's a lot of energy sort of in the building, I know the number of fans there was probably a little bit disappointing for you in that game, but the expectation was the NCAA tournament for you guys, and I think the fans probably felt the same way. But he hits that three, you go to the locker room, you got a 19-point lead. What's Brownell's message to you guys at that point?
His message was to just focus the other game's not over. Don't get lazy because they're a good team and they can come back and win. So basically that's kind of what happened. I guess we felt like in the game, everybody was just so comfortable that, we're going to win this game and we're already up, probably because they weren't hitting shots and we were, so we didn't think they were that good. And it just kind of slipped away from us.
You know, Avery, as a former basketball player, I was the kind of guy that was sort of the person who kept everybody level-headed but focused. I mean, that's what I'd say. I wasn't necessarily the rah-rah guy, but, you know, if I felt like a game was getting away from us, I was going to say something. I was going to get in somebody's face and say, look, we got to lock in and focus. In that matchup in the second half, who specifically, maybe it was you, was there a player at some point in that second half that said, guys, look, we got to lock it in? I mean, was there somebody taking, that step forward for you guys?
I think a lot of guys, as soon as they had a comeback and stuff, I think a lot of guys were trying to get us going. But I think it was the majority of everybody. But
yeah,
it wasn't passionate like it usually was. Maybe because guys were just kind of upset that we didn't make it in the tournament. And I have no idea, but there was no passion in it, and it was too late to. At the end of the game, guys really, really started like, come on, we got to go. But it was too late by then. But I think the first half, everyone was all like, oh, we're going to win this game because obviously we were blowing them out. And then I think guys realized after the 10-minute mark, let's stop messing around. Let's put this game away. And obviously they went on a good run because they're a good team. And by the time we try to really, really try to switch it around, it was too late.
You can follow Avery on Twitter at Holmes_Avery. Avery Holmes hanging out with us here on Clemson Sports Talk for another 10 minutes or so. And Avery, one of the things, you guys were disappointed not getting in the NCAA tournament. I know Clemson Tiger fans that have written us on Twitter and called in the program were disappointed not to make the NCAA tournament. But this is a program still that hasn't finished a season with a victory since 1950. And when you look around Little John Coliseum, it is absent of a lot of banners showing successful seasons. Let's say that there's a Clemson Tiger team in the future that gets in the NIT. There's got to be some joy in hoisting a banner of some regard. How do you keep a team focused on a prize that may not be the NCAA tournament so that one day maybe Clemson does put up a banner and does get to celebrate ending a basketball season with a win, which is something they haven't done in 60-some-odd years?
Well, I would honestly, if that was my situation and stuff like that, I would ask the kids, ask the guys if they want to play. I mean, obviously, and figure out who really wants to really play.
Yeah.
And finish out the year. Because if some guys say, I honestly don't feel like it's my key guys or something like that, or it's just majority of the guys that just don't want to play.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. But if the guys want to play and they're excited for it, at that time, I just let the guys go play. I just let them go. I said, look, man, we got to play defense, and that's the biggest thing I'm going to focus on. But go play with each other. Go have fun. I want a bunch of celebrations. I won't be. I will. If you guys need help, obviously out of balance play and stuff, I'll give you guys a call. But other than that, just go have fun, go play. This is the end of the year. It's your time to make something out of the season. More so, just making it like we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do this, instead of just making more so just have fun with it. You guys, go out there and just have a blast with each other, and just put no stress on it. If you guys lose, you guys lose. You guys win. I mean, it's kind of just it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, go have fun. Like, go have fun. Because if the guys not having fun and guys are worried about taking shot selections, like guys are worried about messing up and stuff like that, and then it gets to a point where it's a long season. You're already mad that you didn't make the tournament, and then guys are just kind of fed up in certain ways. But if you just tell your guys just to go have fun, go play for each other and represent Clemson well,
right,
you guys can make it to the top and keep it simple like that.
Avery, let me ask you, because I think it's an interesting point. We've got Avery Holmes here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. A little bit of insight there that maybe people haven't thought about. Yeah, okay, so you, Jerron, City, Riley, you guys are seniors. Your college careers are coming to a close. It's a chapter that is closing at the end of your final game. So I'm just assuming, and I could be wrong, that you four guys, we're fully focused on the task at hand because you want to keep playing college basketball, I would assume. I don't know that, but I would assume it. So are you of the mindset, because there were some people who called in my show before the basketball game and said, you know what the Clemson ought to do tonight is not play the seniors. They ought to let the young guys have, the experience here because they're building for the future. It's a weird situation because when you talk about bowl practice, and I don't know how much you follow football, but bowl practice, a lot of times the upperclassmen and the seniors aren't getting a lot of the practice time. A lot of that's being devoted to the younger guys. Do you think I don't think you're telling me that you guys were disinterested as the older guys, but maybe you guys were? Is that what you're saying? Or do you think it was just across the board there were different individuals that may have been disinterested in that game?
Yeah, man, I think it was just guys were just tired. Guys didn't know how long season were. Newcomers, guys are just maybe frustrated about their year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of frustrations, things that people don't see behind the scenes and stuff. But I just think that it was like just some people here, some people there. Of course, the seniors. Of course, all the seniors don't want to end their last game and stuff.
Right.
But, if you don't feel that your team is excited and ready to compete and play for everyone on that staff, on that team, it's going to be hard to win the championship.
Sure.
So, to win the whole thing. So if you, especially at that time, because there's a lot of guys excited at NIT and ready to play and like happy about making the NIT with momentum. Like, you're not going to beat teams like that if nobody really wants to play. So you might beat somebody here and there, but when you get to New York and you're still not wanting to play,
yeah,
for some reason, I mean, certain guys and certain teams, you guys are not all on the same page. It's going to be a lot harder. You're just going to end up wasting time and end up going back home because there's going to be guys wanting to play in hoops. So if the team is not on the same page, especially at this time, ready to play, ready to win, compete for each other, and laughing and joking and doing all the fun things and just relax and not being so serious, but obviously take it hand in hand and focus on winning the game, but just having fun majority of the time. Kids, I mean, guys love that. Like, guys love that instead of making the pressure like, oh, you better do what I say, or we got to give the ball to him or give the ball to his person. Like, it's more like, go have fun with it. Y'all play as brothers and just go have fun. So I just think that, yeah.
No, listen, I appreciate your honesty. I mean, we've had Jordan Roper come in studio with us several times, and, one of the things Jordan kept saying to me, because I was asking him about this team, because I couldn't put my finger on it, Avery. What's going on? There's something just not quite right with this team. They're not closing games. I started to notice Dante Grantham being a little less consistent, not willing to shoot the ball as much. I felt like at 6'8", he had to be a little bit more of a scorer. But I'm kind of hearing from you and hearing from Jordan one theme, and that is the pressure that exists on college basketball players in the ACC, at Clemson, wherever, across the board, to be successful. I mean, you just talked about the pressure. What is that pressure like for individuals?
I mean, like, if you're a senior or if you just, maybe just want to get more playing time, you got to perform.
Yeah.
And especially if you're at an ACC level, you can't not be a guy who performs and like, you're expected to play a lot of minutes. So we had a lot of talent on our team. So some guys a lot of guys put in hard work. Dante Grantham, he played his freshman year, had a major freshman year. Obviously 6'8", very, very talented, and he went through a struggle. And that's kind of sucks because you were the man when you first got here, and then you're just going through a little slump, and you just kind of trying to figure out. But usually you don't have that much talent, so usually you can really bounce back. And like guys don't have that much talent on their team, he can just bounce back from that slump because they know he's going to take his spot or take his minutes. But so since we have so many guys, we have so many guys. You have so many guys and stuff. No one really could mess up, because if you really messed up, we got to put in another guy that could spark up the team and help us win. And so there's good benefits and bad benefits, because if I messed up or didn't get a rhythm going, I might not be playing, and then someone else is coming and take my minutes away. But sometimes that doesn't help, because sometimes you take a little time to warm up, and then you might not score the first half, and you might go for 25 the second half. So you will never realize that, because we have so much talent, that's so much pressure. So we have to make shots. We got to make defensive stops. We're kind of not wanting to make mistakes because there's another guy behind us. So I think that's a lot to do with, especially with our team and being an ACC, is that we have to perform at a high level every single second, because we have guys ready to play and could play at that level.
Do you feel like, it sounds to me like you feel like there were guys on the team, I don't know who they were, but that were so concerned about what's happening behind them as far as being challenged off the bench that they couldn't see forward of what was going on the court. They were too busy worrying about losing minutes.
Yeah, it could have been something like that, but also could just be like, it could be just the pressure, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just frustrated because they know they're not competing at the high level, because they're just in a slump. Everyone goes through a slump. I've been in a slump. Everyone goes through a slump. But, maybe that kind of, put pressure on some people or not. But like I said, like, you could have 2-3 straight games and play amazing, and then you might come off the bench, and then you might have a little struggle in the beginning of the game, and you might not get back in that much because some guy comes off the bench and sparks up the team. So they had a big issue with this year. It was about like playing time and who's going to play more and stuff like that, and that kind of got us in a bad situation, because we had so many good players there. It's not the fact that guys just wanted to be selfish; it's the guys that wanted to help the team. Guys wanted to be there for the team and be that guy to help the team, but not everyone can do that once. So that's what kind of messed us up. Is so many guys, including myself, wanted to help the team out by being on the court and getting the defensive stop and making shots, but and so it kind of put pressure on that, and that kind of thing didn't help us throughout the season to end games and stuff like that. But,
it's interesting, okay, because I know a lot of people who are listening to this are saying to themselves, well, that falls on Brad Brownell. I mean, that falls on the coach to figure out how to get the team's chemistry to work out. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Coach Brad Brownell. Tiger fans will have their opinions, and they'll probably tweet at you again at Holmes_Avery. They probably already hit you up on different things. But in terms of the future of Clemson Tiger basketball, can this team next season, minus you, minus Jerron, minus City, can the team be better next year, in your opinion? Think it's going to be a better team? I mean, that's a lot of talent we just lost.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, anything can happen, man. Like you said, you see Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech don't got crazy players, but they play as a team, and it's hard to beat a team that is just playing for each other. So you don't got to have the craziest talent, like as you can see. You just got to have a group of guys and everyone that's hopped on board ready to play as a team, don't matter who scores or not, just ready to compete for their brothers. So if next year they come out the mindset of I'm gonna help you get yours, and everyone's gonna help each other out instead of focus on themselves and focus on the team, and they're bought into whoever, if Coach B is there, if they're bought in his system and everyone's just bought into him, they'll be 10 times better than us. But because they're bought in as a team, I don't feel like the last couple of years we've been really bought in the team, like really in like just, you know what I'm saying? Just like there's teams that are just, you could tell, play as teams and don't care who gets off or who gets the last shot, who wins the game-winning shot, and consistently though throughout the whole season, not through a couple preseason games. I'm talking about throughout the whole entire year. That's how teams become really good. As the top teams, you could tell the North Carolinas, the Dukes, and the Notre Dames. They're all so close. You could just see on the court. They just love each other. They really just want the best for each other, and they play roles. and that helps a lot. So if they decide to do that, people take roles and want to play for each other, they're going to be 10 times better than us. But if they don't, then I honestly couldn't say that they will. But they definitely have a chance to spark up next year. But that's if what they want to do as buying as a team.
Avery Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. Avery, appreciate your time tonight. Hey, hang on the line. I want to talk to you for a second during the break. Again, follow Avery on Twitter @Holmes_Avery. A lot of insight there into the Clemson Tiger basketball program. If you want to react to anything Avery had to say here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight, the show that shakes the Southland, 803-978-1832 is the number. 803-978-1832. We got a quick 3-minute break coming up. We'll talk about the NCAA tournament games that are going on as we speak. We'll update you on that and much more here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio.
Hi, my name is Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Experience not only our pools, hot tubs, and lazy river, but also our delicious on-site banana boat lounge and cafe, family game room, fitness center, banquet facilities, and much more. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show now at 978-1832 or text 803-450-0086.
Avery Holmes here on Clemson Sports Talk. A lot of insight into the program. Really enjoyed that opportunity and that interview with him. If you missed any of it, the podcast edition of the show will be available for you a little later in that interview as well over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. I could digest that thing 16 different times and sideways. I mean, you know, wow. And I want to say something here about Avery Holmes there in that interview. His honesty, right? I mean, it's tough. And this is what I wanted to tell him off the air, and I meant it. It's tough to be a guy who was in that locker room because there's an absolute trust amongst teammates that, barring, not playing sports, I don't know that you get that. I mean, it's kind of like the trust you have with your family, with your spouse, whomever. That special person to you, the trust that you have with them. You have that in the locker room. I mean, there is that camaraderie, that trust, and it's difficult when guys step out and they're in the middle of an interview and they kind of give you an inside look because, again, there was no conversation of infighting. There was no conversation of bad guys in the locker room. But what Avery Holmes pointed out there was significant competition to be on the court at Clemson and play. And Avery Holmes talked about the talent level that Clemson had. He felt like it was a lot of talent. And he felt like that was part of the issue for some of the guys is the fact that you knew if you made a mistake, you were going to the bench. Now, psychologically, I think we all get that. We're in the working world, right? I mean, for crying out loud. Do you think iHeartRadio is going to allow me to sit in here, and the folks at Fox Sports Radio are going to allow me to sit in here each and every night and do a show if it's just in the tank and everybody hates it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, it's one of the funny things about this program. Of course, it's Clemson Sports Talk. It's in the belly of the beast, Columbia, South Carolina, where Gamecocks are listening as well. And people say to me, why would South Carolina fans listen to your show? I have people that say that to me. All right? That's what they say to me. The job of my show is not, and my role as the host of this show, is not to be a show for Clemson fans to come in and get rah, rah, rah. That's not what this show is about. And this show is not about me hoping that some Gamecock lurkers come over and I dump on them all day about how bad they are. That's not what this show is about. And fortunately, we've had a lot of Gamecocks who listen to this program, who've come over to this show and listen to the program, that come out to the events when we go out in the public, and they say, Swanee, I love your show. I love your show, and I'm a South Carolina Gamecock fan.
The mind control device is nearing completion.
Yeah, we're closing in on it. But there's an honesty that I want to give you here every night on the air. There's an honesty about the relationship between Clemson and South Carolina and the rivalry in the state. And so what I can appreciate about Avery Holmes is the honesty that I got from him. Now, I'm going to tell you, in fairness to Jerron Blossom Game, who was on the program yesterday, I was better tonight. I was better tonight with Avery Holmes than I was with Jerron Blossom Game. And for that, I owe Jerron an apology, and I owe you guys an apology, because I should have asked the same questions, but sometimes the conversation goes a different way. And for Avery, I think there is a uniqueness in the fact that he's played in another program previously. I think there is a uniqueness that he was a star but not the star. And I can appreciate a guy that comes in and gives you that vantage point. Now, one of the things, if you are a Brownell is out, Brownell's got to be fired guy. If you are a Brownell cannot possibly make this team better next year guy, and you're out there, I know this, at least you can hear Avery Holmes say, look, it was really about the team playing together. Now, I put the onus of that on Brad Brownell, and I think you could easily say that that is the single greatest job of a head coach, is being able to get guys to play a like-minded game with the best interest of the team and not the individual. I mean, there is no I in team. We all know the old statement. There's a big old me in there, though. There is a me in the word team, but there is no I. And the great debate about what makes Dabo Swinney better than Tommy Bowden will be thrown at me about why Brad Brownell should be moved for a coach who could possibly be better. Now, again, will another season of ineptitude, will another season of shortcomings, will another season of a lack of success in an NIT berth be the death of Clemson Tiger basketball? Probably not, but it is a frustrated fan base. And that's where I think we have to begin to think differently about this program in some respects. I am okay with Clemson cutting a check to get rid of Brad Brownell today in lieu of building a newfound energy into this program. But if I'm Dan Radakovich and I look out over the scope of college basketball today, and I don't see the availability of an individual that I want to come in, okay? I look out there and I don't see anybody that I feel like fits the needs of my program right now. Forget Brad Brownell, forget the numbers, forget all of that. I look out there and I think, well, I'd like Wojo, but maybe I put out a feeler, nothing. If I reach out to a couple of guys that I think I'm interested in or I think Mike could come in and help my program immediately, and they are disinterested or not wanting to come, then maybe you just bite the bullet as an athletic department and you come out with one of the same statements like they did with Jack Leggett and say, look, we're going to look for improvement. If we don't see it, then we're going to move on. Now, maybe you get lucky and Brad Brownell takes an opening. Maybe there's a job that comes open that he wants and he moves on. I mean, it wasn't like you cut – and we could talk about Oliver Purnell, but it wasn't like Clemson cut the ties with Purnell. Purnell cut the ties with Clemson to go to DePaul and swim around in the toilet bowl for several years because they didn't do diddly and or poo. Out to the phone lines we go, though, here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. Caller, welcome in.
Hey, Swan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man.
This is AJ, man, giving you a call back. So, as I told you plenty of times I called before, I'm an LSU fan.
Yeah.
I follow Clemson pretty loosely. I like your show, so I kind of follow them just to keep up.
Hey, I appreciate
but
that.
Wasn't that interview just telling about their coach? Listening to some of his responses, it's for somebody who don't follow Clemson basketball at all.
Yeah.
Very loosely, I could tell the problems that the basketball team has. It was as much as he tried to kind of hold it in,
yeah,
he really couldn't. You could tell there was a lack of trust with the players and the coach, and you could tell there was maybe some selfishness going on. And I guess my question to you is, do you think I guess I don't know if I could say that now after listening to that interview, but do you think maybe some of the Clemson grads and Clemson fan base are maybe in a rush to have their basketball team to be so successful because of their football team success? Because your baseball team is pretty good, your football team is national champs, and now the basketball team is the one that's like, all right, come on now, it's time to catch up. Do you think they're falling a victim to your other athletic success?
AJ, that's a great question. I think in some respects, yes, and in other respects, no. I think the biggest factor about Clemson Tiger fans, and by the way, man, I'll let you know this on the slide because you're an LSU guy. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I used to pull for the Clemson Tigers, and if LSU was playing, I always liked the eye painted in the middle of y'all's field, and I thought that was one of the coolest things in college football. So I do have a lot of respect for your program. I know we got a break to hit. Hey, man, listen, you call us anytime, buddy. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, yeah, we're gonna hit a break. We'll come back. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'll tell you the reason when we return that I think Clemson Tiger fans are more anxious about their basketball program and its future success. Plus, again, I mentioned we were going to update you on some NCAA tournament games. We did not do that in the last segment. Great call from AJ, and appreciate again Avery Holmes for being on the program tonight. 803-978-1832. More Hurry Up, No Huddle Sports Talk Radio for you in 3 minutes.
iHeartRadio does something no other app or website can do. Thousands of live radio stations you can take anywhere. Want to listen to that station in Denver, but you're in Philly? No problem. In Austin, but you miss Seattle? No problem. Plus, iHeartRadio lets you create your own custom artist stations.
James from Metallica here. It's iHeartRadio.
Just type in the artist you love, and iHeartRadio creates a station just for you. Free radio and unlimited music all in one app. iHeartRadio.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
When you have a need for a plumber, you need it fast and you need it done right. If you're dealing with busted pipes, maybe you need your toilet repaired or you're battling a clogged drain, break free from average service and experience the best with Freedom Plumbing. Call James Carwell and the staff at Freedom Plumbing to get the job done fast, on time, and most importantly, right the first time. Freedom Plumbing, your local 24-hour plumber.
Call 803-447-0471 or online at freedom-plumbing.com.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
From Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, tonight the skies stay clear and the temperatures once again fall below freezing, upper 20s for most of us. Now tomorrow, sunny skies and warmer. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia.
It's Toyota's One for Everyone event at Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia. Lease new 2017 Corollas for $99 a month, 36 months. Fred Anderson Toyota of Columbia.
Excludes TDL and includes $398 closing fee with approved credit based on stock HC7 2050 $39.49 due at signing.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Weeknight shaking the Southland. It is Clemson Sports Talk. I am Lawton Swan, little 50 Cent in the background. NCAA college basketball in the foreground. Lots of action going on tonight. Boy, what an incredible day of hoops already, and it's only going to get better again. Not a ton of upsets earlier in the day, that's for sure. Matter of fact, in the West, I'm perfect. I got Gonzaga taking on Northwestern. I got Notre Dame and West Virginia right now. My only slip-up was Middle Tennessee. They beat Minnesota. I got Butler beating Middle Tennessee in the next round, so I feel okay about that as well. And there are some games underway, and we will keep you updated. But I want to head up to the 864 real quick. We got Roger listening to the program tonight. Roger, what's going on, man?
That's right, Swan. Good to listen to you again.
Appreciate it.
You know, I listened the other night to Boston game. In listening to his interview,
yeah,
I mean, it kind of sounded like, hey, anybody from the NBA want to listen to me, that's kind of what it sounded like.
Okay.
Tonight was a whole different story.
I agree, and I thought of that myself, as a matter of fact. As we were going through the interview, I thought to myself, Jerron may be giving us his best, and you know, I don't blame the kid. I mean, he's got $1 million contract potentially coming. Jerron may be giving us his best because he knows that there is the potential that people would be listening.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. But tonight's interview was it was a little revealing. And what I wanted to say, you work state government job too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I've been at the fire department almost 28 years. I've had many captains, many battalion chiefs. Some I like, some I didn't. I always respect them. I worked for them. I've worked under two chiefs. First one was great to begin with, and it got to the point where we worked 24 on, 48 off. When I was getting off in the morning, driving home in the next 48 hours, you thought about having to go back to work. You
right.
say, well, you don't have to, but you get so much time in the way regulations and certificates and all that change, you stick with it. The guy that I work for today could go to Clemson and coach that basketball team and has never coached basketball before. That's the type of guy that I get to go work for now. Some people demand respect. Some people automatically get it. And that's what I got out of the interview. Dabo doesn't demand respect. He automatically, when he takes the stage or the platform and speaks, he automatically gets it. We need that on the basketball side, and whether that's this year or next year, they're not going to be able to get a big name.
Right.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
They need to get somebody. It was revealing today. So
I appreciate that, Roger. Yeah, I thought Avery did a good job. And, again, I don't envy him for having to come on and talk about it either. You know, it's got to be tough. I mean, it's got to be tough.
Well, apparently the kid was being honest. I mean, he was respectfully honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that, hey, you know what, we had guys, and Avery included himself, that were concerned about playing time because there was a lot of talent. And they knew that if you messed up, you were going to hit the bench and you might not get back in the game. You know, I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, Swanee, we're going to send you through Dabo Swinney classes for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
And we're going to let you take over Clemson basketball.
Oh, listen. Do you know, I would rack up more technical fouls probably in my first week on the job than Brad Brownell had in his career.
Hey,
but the fans would love me.
Respect.
Roger, be good, man. Thanks for listening in the 864, buddy.
We'll see you.
All right, man. There you go. Roger listening to the program tonight. 803-978-1832. If you missed any of Avery Holmes' interview, again, we will podcast it. It'll be up a little bit later tonight. It was an incredibly telling interview. I agree wholeheartedly with Roger on that front. I think a lot of people will be very interested to hear that one, and we'll make sure we have it up soon, very soon. Okay, let's see. NCAA tournament. What's going on in the world right now? Mount St. Mary's leading Villanova 18-13 with 7:23 remaining in the first half. You talk about an upset alert early on, just a 5-point lead for Mount St. Mary's. Villanova, the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, sitting there in the Eastern bracket. The winner will take on the winner of Wisconsin and Virginia Tech. That matchup's set for 9:40 tonight. So a 16 has never beat a 1, but right now a 16 is up by 5 with 7 minutes remaining in the NCAA tournament matchup. 7 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first half of their first NCAA tournament matchup. Xavier and Maryland getting close to halftime, about 40 seconds remaining. Xavier leading Maryland 35-34. Maryland is the 6th seed. Xavier is the 11th seed. Maryland has not led in a while. They are trying, though, to get the lead before the half, but it looks like they will come up a little short in that attempt. Let's see. Other games going on as we speak. Let's see. VCU, the 10 seed, taking on St. Mary's, currently leading 7-6 with about 15 minutes left in that game. And I think that is all of the games. I think that's all of the games that are actually going on right now as we speak. So the NCAA tournament is upon us, and boy, what a fun time it is. At the half, Maryland leading Xavier 36-35. The Terrapins are the 6th seed. 36-35. They are up by 1 at the half. And then we've got St. Mary's leading Villanova right now. Yes, Mount St. Mary's leading Villanova 18-15. And St. Mary's is leading VCU. So not to confuse you too much there. 803-978-1832 is the number. You can be a part of the program in so many ways, not only live, but if you listen to the podcast on your iPhone or Android device or on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. And don't forget about our free Clemson Sports Talk application for iPhone and Android devices. That's right, I said it is free. Download it today. Get all your latest breaking Clemson news, notes, information, and more. Again, it is the free Clemson Sports Talk application. 803-978-1832. We got one final break here in the program. Basketball galore all around us. I can't keep up. But we shall return here in 3 minutes to wrap up the program for you again on Clemson Sports Talk. Stay with us.
Do you need lodging for your next Tigers game? To get a real game day experience, skip the hotel and stay close to campus in one of Rent Like a Champion's comfortable vacation homes. You can call Rent Like a Champion, a Mark Cuban company featured on ABC's Shark Tank, at 855-BIG-GAME to set up your weekend lodging today.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan. With quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
To 8 p.m. weeknights, Fox Sports Radio, iHeart Radio, live on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. It is the show that shakes the Southland, and I want to encourage you to hang out with us over on our chat room. Again, we used to have a loyal group of people that would hang out. And I got to apologize to those people because I tried to move the show over to Facebook. Didn't really. I mean, it was. I mean, we get 2,000-3,000 people a night that would see the show. That's more than watch it on YouTube right now, but it just wasn't something. It was missing something. So, again, thank you to everybody for being a part of the program. Maybe one day Facebook will get it worked out where it works a little better, and I'll go with that. But right now, it's just not it for me. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Again, the NCAA tournament underway. Man, what an incredible NCAA tournament we're probably going to get, because I don't know that there's any one singular dominant team. 3:10 left in the first half. Villanova still trailing Mount St. Mary's in their opener. And I like what ESPN's done. I'll give them credit. So my bracket right now shows me that I should be concerned about losing a potential 70 points if Villanova gets beat. Yeah, me and the rest of America. You know what I'm saying? Me and everybody else out there. So it looks at the score, and then it predicts, it tells you what you are set to gain or lose based on what pick you made. And earlier I was watching this thing during the show. All of a sudden I saw this alert pop up on the bottom of my screen, this red bracket cast alert, and it was like, one of the teams you picked to win is in danger. Fortunately, they did not lose. That was Northwestern because of one of the craziest things I've ever seen. The Northwestern player, they are up 1, and Vanderbilt fouls them on purpose. Yeah, that was a head-scratcher. 803-978-1832. Let's take a look out to social media. The Ocean Reef Resort text line. We've had several people chime in tonight. Travis says, Swanee, I really don't have the words, man. It's just unbelievable that Clemson blew a 20-point lead at home in the NIT. Mic drop. Travis, you're right. I don't have the words either. I thought Avery Holmes, though, earlier gave you some idea of maybe how fractured, maybe that's not the best word, but it definitely felt like Avery Holmes gave you the inside scoop that things were not hunky-dory inside that Clemson locker room. TJ chimes in. He says, Law man, I was one of those who liked Coach Brownell because I believed there are two factors that players have to play and coaches have to put them in a position to win. But I think he just put that last nail in the coffin. He does feel like he'll see a Tiger baseball run to the College World Series in the near future. Those guys are learning how to win. Digging the show, that's TJ. TJ, I will tell you, I agree with you. On a lot of respects there, man, because this Clemson Tiger baseball team has a never say die mentality. They don't quit. They're always coming for you. It doesn't matter how many they're down or up. They seem to have a certain, again, and this is where I get the people that say we need a change at basketball. I'm with those people. I think we need a change at basketball. But when you talk about quick turnaround success, look at Sweeney, look at Monty Lee, and you go, man, let's just do this with basketball. It's easy. Stroke a check, let's do it. Stroke a check, let's make it happen. I get that. It is not an unreasonable thought process at all. It's the old jobber mentality from WWE. Pin me, pay me. Just get it done. Let's get started. Let's get the next match rolling. 803-978-1832 is the number. Again, don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow to talk more about the NCAA tournament. As things roll on, the craziness is only beginning. Again, one more day of 16 games. That's tomorrow. And South Carolina plays Marquette tomorrow as well. So Gamecock Nation looking for a chance to win their first NCAA tournament game in 43 years. South Carolina and Marquette, that game's in Greensboro. Again, I think it was a tough draw in terms of your opponent. It was a great draw in terms of the venue playing here in the state of South Carolina. South Carolina and Marquette, 9:50 on TBS. It's going to be a late start for the Gamecocks tomorrow night, so we'll talk a lot about that one as well. Also tomorrow, up at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, Duke, the 2 seed, taking on Troy at 7:20. So that matchup will be going on while we're on here in studio. You've also got North Carolina taking on Texas Southern tomorrow at 4 o'clock at Bon Secours. That's a 4 o'clock start on TNT. And then the other matchup in Columbia is eluding me at this moment, or the other matchup in the state of South Carolina, Arkansas and Seton Hall. There you go. Arkansas and Seton Hall tomorrow at 1:30. So that's a quick look at the matchups. I believe all of those games at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. I think that's the 8 teams that are playing there. So the Gamecocks with the nightcap here in the state of South Carolina, and I would imagine a lot of Gamecock faithful will be making their way up to see those old school rivals. And if you say rivals, what do you mean? Man, back in the day, Al McGuire and Frank McGuire, hashtag we are non-relation, would go head-to-head. Independence, South Carolina, Marquette. Oh, yeah. That was a classic. Couple of Hall of Fame head coaches, too, I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I didn't fact-check it. VCU trailing St. Mary's 19-18 right now. Trying to give you a quick update before we get out of here. Again, VCU trailing St. Mary's 19-18. VCU is the 10 seed. St. Mary's is the 7 seed. Other games underway. Man, this is hard. There's so many games. Maryland leading Xavier at the half again, 36-35. 36-35. Looking for one more. There's got to be another game somewhere. Vermont, the 13 seed, leading Purdue 26-22 right now. And Mount St. Mary still leading Villanova 25. Nope, they just fell behind. 26-25. Villanova takes the lead with 1:28 remaining in the first half of action. So that's the way it looks right now as we get set to go off the air. I'm going to head home, sit down, and watch a lot of NCAA college basketball, that's for sure. The only thing I need is probably more television sets. Outside of that, I'll be good to go. Thank you so much for being here. Would you look at the time? 56 after 7. We got to get out of here. I am Lawton Swan. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. Look forward to spending a couple of more hours with you tomorrow evening on the Friday edition of the Hurry Up No Huddle Sports Talk Express. Until then, as always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Business owners, have you had to let your last couple of sales hires go because they were not making quota year one? Want to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Take an ordinary putty knife and scrape off the old wax ring. Place the new wax ring over the flange, then line up the bolts with the bowl and gently set in place, making sure a proper seal is created with the flange and drain. Next.
Dad?
Yeah, sweetie.
Is that an old plumbing manual?
Oh, yeah, honey.
We really need to get some new books.
Right, do you want me to stop?
Nah, I kinda wanna know how it ends.
Okay. Tighten the bolts, line up the flushing valve to the opening in the top of the bowl, and secure the tank with a screwdriver and crescent wrench.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
From the TrueCar.com studios, the new way to buy a car. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio